Hello, folks. It's me back again, and terrible results for Burnley over the last couple of nights, which I feel sort of condemns with one foot and a couple of toes into, unfortunately, championship football for next season. But tonight I'm back for a distraction to enjoy an FA Cup quarter-final between Middlesbrough and Chelsea, owing to the fact of Middlesbrough's great run in the Cup this season, where they've knocked out Manchester United and Tottenham. Can they do it for a third time against Chelsea and get themselves to Wembley? It's about 7 minutes before kick-off. So the perfect time for me to tell you this evening's lineups. Where I press on with just sharing the stream around to get more people hopefully to join us and grow the community on the channel. Just a moment. Tonight's starting lineups are as follows. In goal, Joe Lumley from Middlesbrough. This is Joe Lumley, who's a dodgy keeper. Paddy McNeil, former Manchester United man. Die-hard Middlesbrough fan, Dale Fry, partnering him in central defence. Anthony Steele, old age pensioner Neil Taylor as right wing back. Marcus Tavernier, Johnny House, Matt Crooks, who's had a great season and might find himself in the Premier League next season, regardless of whether Middlesbrough do or not. Middlesbrough's flair player of Isaiah Jones on the right side, and Aaron Conley, who flashes to deceive a little bit, partnered an attack by Flaming Balogun on loan from Arsenal, and in my opinion, does have Premier League credentials for the future. Chelsea's lineup is a little bit weaker than you might want to see without the sort of outstanding ability of Reece James and Ben Chilwell as wing backs. It's a different dynamic, and Chelsea are less fluid without that pair, but nevertheless, it's Mendy, Aspilicueta, Silva, Rudiger, Sarr, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, who, what a fall from grace, only getting in for the World Cup game for Chelsea now when he went to a FA Cup, a World Cup with England 4 years ago. Mason Mount, Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, and Romelu Lukaku. If you are new to the channel, please like and share and subscribe. If you don't do that, then your petrol is going to get more expensive. Your mum's going to make you have Brussels sprouts on your Sunday roast, and your favourite team are going to lose every game from between now and the end of the season. So please like, share and subscribe and help me get towards my goal of 150 subscribers before the season comes to an end. Really appreciate the growth, and yeah, I'm getting more confident behind the camera. And hopefully the channel will be more professional as Burnley enter into a new season, albeit in a different league. But I've got a real taste for doing this now, so you're not gonna get rid of me. And we have 5 minutes before the players enter the pitch. I do think Chelsea ultimately will probably have too much quality for Middlesbrough in this game, but I think the lack of away fans and the crowd for Chelsea and an entirely full and arches and Middlesbrough Stadium all go a long way for making it tricky for Middlesbrough. It's been a terrific season in the FA Cup, but this year probably the best one, and fantastic to have two championship representatives at this stage in the spring. Players in the tunnel. Thomas Tuchel wrapped up on a boiling hot day with all his layers on his coat, is at his scarf. And the players are about to come out in a very, very, very narrow tunnel at the riverside. Must be really difficult for Chelsea's players just to clear their minds and concentrate on football, not knowing who their owner's going to be, if they might get points deductions, where they're going to be, well, if they'll be kept for next season, if indeed they're going to be kicked out of the Champions. Oh no, there are Chelsea fans, excuse me. I didn't think Chelsea fans were allowed to go to away games. Oh well. That surprised me. I thought there was no away games. Oh wow, that shut me up. Unprofessional of me not to check that one out. But anyway, on we go with the game. So it looks as though Middlesbrough are going to operate with a 3-5-2. Obviously, they've tried to crowd the midfield to prevent Chelsea from overrunning them in midfield. Whereas Chelsea are playing a 4-2-3-1. But I think it's going to be sort of integral that Middlesbrough are able to pin the wing backs of Chelsea back. Paul Dini, probably one of the worst referees in the Premier League, and that's not saying a great deal. Is it going to be the Milan Lukaku who turns up today, or is it going to be trampoline to Lukaku? We'll soon see. Raucous atmosphere at the Riverside. Middlesbrough fans absolutely loving it. I remember when Middlesbrough got to the FA Cup final, I think it was, when they beat Chesterfield. And then they got to the final to play, I believe, Chelsea and Middlesbrough was the FA Cup final, I believe, in 1997. So it's a repeat of that. Formalities. I presume this round of applause is it for the passing of Andy Lockhead? Anyway, the formalities are done, and it looks like it's Middlesbrough who are set to start the game. Fleming Balogun stands over the ball. Oh, I've not shared this around. It's better do that quickly. And the game's underway. Middlesbrough go on immediately to the feet of, drop to the feet of Sarah and plays it out for a throw-in. Sarah to Rudiger, back to Mendy. Out to Aspilicueta, who takes a couple of strides forward but goes back to Thiago Silva. Chelsea needing possession. Off his cheek, shows for it, but it goes back to Mendy. Middlesbrough pressing, but not pressing entirely as a unit. Poor control by Tavernier, but a foul by Mason Mount presents Middlesbrough with free kick. Paddy McNair has it for Middlesbrough, goes long, competes for it, does Aaron Conley, but to no avail. It comes to Neil Taylor, who misplaces his pass for Barra. Ziyech misplaces his pass for Chelsea, and now the tricky Isaiah Jones plays the ball into the box for Middlesbrough. And that's recycled by Matt Crooks. Isaiah Jones again, not on the same wavelength as Matt Crooks. Sarr scores it right down for Chelsea along the line to Thiago Aspilicueta. A very, very defensive-minded player, and like such, back against Thiago. Christmas of Chelsea's passing could go a long way to giving them an advantage and not giving Middlesbrough any unwanted encouragement. Pulisic wins a throw-in for Chelsea, but they're in their own half and haven't made any progress in the opening almost 3 minutes. Good ball by Rudiger out to Aspilicueta to Ziyech, who plays it forward to Mount, who's running free, and now he crosses it in, and there's a low ahead of, a low goal scrambling, moving ahead with Del Fry, and it was Ziyech who, throws himself at the ball in the area and any contact at all, and it was 1-0 to Chelsea. I think it was Neil Taylor. It was foul by Neil Taylor on Aspilicueta. But it was Paddy McNair who had it stood up by Mount. Dale Fry with an awkward defensive header where he heads the ball into the ground. almost as a gymnastic role, and when the ball comes to Ziyech, he can't just poke it home. But Middlesbrough at 6s and 7s, and it's cleared off the line by the defender there. Chelsea look absolutely live and are at the moment toying with Middlesbrough, but Middlesbrough come forward, a challenge by Sarr. Middlesbrough wants a free kick, but the referee denies them it, and the ball swinging end to end. And now Middlesbrough have it in their half, but a miscontrol by Aaron Conley, whose legs can't just carry him fast enough to keep up with the through ball from Tavernier, and it's in Chelsea hands with Rudiger. Terrible hold-up play by Lukaku, now from it by Wigan as he's back to goal, and he plays it to the diminutive Itty Jones. Itty Jones has it and plays it off of Sarr, and we have a corner kick to Middlesbrough. Very lively game, swinging from end to end, and it's not going to be no for very much longer. Tavernier over the corner from Middlesbrough. Is he going to go for an in-swinger? It looks like it with the way that they're all crowding round the goal. Punched away sort of hurriedly by Mendy. Chelsea come away with the ball now with Ziyech running purposefully and opening stride, changes the angle, and Anthony Steele is there to intercept from Middlesbrough before Lukaku can do any damage. Ziyech sticks a leg out, which Anthony Steele is all too happy to dive over and invites the challenge and a free kick to Middlesbrough. Perhaps if it was a few minutes later in the game, that's a yellow card, but it's a cup tie, so maybe the players are given a bit more leeway. Paddy McNair goes backwards. Dale Fry now to Matt Crooks, who miscommunicates with Izzy Brown. Izzy Brown comes short, Matt Crooks goes long, and it's back with Chelsea who have a throw-in. Rudiger to Thiago Silva, now to Azpilicueta, back to Thiago, who shovels it out to Sarr. One ball by Sarr, aimless. Pulisic competes with that for that. Matt Crooks plays it back to Joe Lumley, and Middlesbrough have it again in defensive third. Middlesbrough seem keen to play for the thirds. Knocked down by Fleming Balogun, not quite on the same wavelength as Aaron Conley, and balls in Chelsea possession with Ziyech, Mason Mount, again linking up with Ziyech, who runs a few men and changes the angle, and Pulisic has a chance to cross. Anthony Dijksteel stands him up and takes him away from goal. As for Aqueta, with no attacking intent at all about him, to Sarr, purposeful possession from Chelsea, but they're not the same team without the wing backs, but needs must. Kovacic now. Sarr, Middlesbrough drop back into a quite effective and solid looking defensive shape now with every man behind the ball. Thiago Silva to Sarr to Loftus-Cheek, who chips it over the top. in the direction of Pulisic, and Izzy Jones, not Pulisic, obliges to roll over after a wiggle nudge in the back by Pulisic. Free kick to Middlesbrough, who survived that good spell for Chelsea. Joe Longley hoops the ball on for Middlesbrough. Aaron Conley jumps, but comes second best in the contest with Thiago Silva. Out to play for a point to Middlesbrough. Almost 10 minutes gone already, and that's one by. Out to play for a point to Chelsea. Got more challenge as well. I should have swim around it, swim at the feet of Mendy and go for Middlesbrough for Chelsea. And there isn't much for Middlesbrough press, and Chelsea play around the wiggle press that there is. Pulisic nudged away by Matt Crooks, and it's a broad Chelsea. Deep in Middlesbrough territory. As I return to the game, Izzy Jones has the chance to beat Sarr for Chelsea, but can't do. Izzy Jones receives it, and there's a wrestling match between Jones and Sarr. Jones comes out on top, and Jones gets onto an excellent return ball from Dyche Steele, and it's played away quite sort of fortuitously for Chelsea by, who was it? Thiago Silva reads the ball well from Jones, and the temporary danger is averted for a minute. We have a corner which will be taken by Tavernier from Middlesbrough. Tavernier in low and doesn't beat the man. Crooks recycles. Dyche still plays it in. And the referee says foul, and Chelsea survive. Thiago Silva in possession at the back now. Aspilicueta. It's sort of an even start, really. Threats at both ends, and neither keeper has made a save. Chelsea have had the better moments, as you'd expect, but there is something there for Middlesbrough. Who have it with Anthony Dyche still. Lukaku has just pushed his man to the floor, and the referee should be thinking about keeping an eye on that backwards. It escalates. It's probably quite a with a pass. Dyche still to Tavernier. Howson, who's whisker forward. Neil Taylor pushes Chelsea man under pressure. Chelsea play around it. Ziyech stretches his legs and Mason Mounts in acres of space. And it's 1-0 to Chelsea. Excellent cross by Mason Mount and a clinical close range finish by Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea won, Middlesbrough 0, and I guess it's been coming because Chelsea, of course, have it on a number of occasions around the Borough box. 1-0 already. Brilliant assist by Mason Mount. Terrible defending from Middlesbrough, really to leave that much space in behind. It started from Aspilicueta to the edge. Middlesbrough just got played around. Think it's Paddy Nero can't prevent Nate Cross. Dale Fry loses his man, and Anthony Nightsteal is powerless to stop a 2-yard, 1 or 2-yard tap in. Joe Lumley comes for the ball, sort of dives over it, so Joe Lumley's left stranded, and it's easy, simple tapping, very crisp, concise, accurate passing from Chelsea, and not what we wanted to see really from a neutral perspective in terms of for the good of the game. It would have been good for Middlesbrough to keep Chelsea out, but it's the FA Cup, anything could happen, and yeah, 15 minutes gone and Chelsea already won up. Needless to say that another goal at this early stage kind of would outright kill any romance of the FA Cup, and but for the alertness of Neil Taylor's, the Eds would have been in and bearing down on goal again. So Middlesbrough very much need to stay in the game and take this thing out of this for a couple of minutes. Middlesbrough keep on persisting on trying to play long balls up to Aaron Conley, who's about 5'4", and he's never going to win those in the air when he's directly competing against Thiago Silva. Talking of Thiago Silva, he played at Aspilicueta. Mason Mount misdirects that. Tavernier has it for Middlesbrough. Johnny Housen to Matt Crooks. Neil Taylor. Poor control by Crooks. In with and Chelsea hands against the edge. Wonderful ball out to almost into the path of don't know whether that was Pulisic or Mount because it looked a bit similar, but either way, Joe Lumley narrowly averted a one-on-one chance for Chelsea. Up the other end and scrappy football. Somebody needs to get a foot on the ball. Lukaku. Bullies Montney. Excellent hold-up play by Lukaku, who appears to be brimming with confidence after his goal. Aspilicueta now on this right side, the edge. Aspilicueta, Neil Taylor attempts to stop the ball and successfully does so, but he can't avoid the expense of a corner kick to Chelsea, who look focused and full of life. And they're clinical enough to put the game to bed soon enough. Mason Mount over the ball for the corner, contemplates what to do with it. Mason Mount corner. Oh, strange corner, very deep. Headed back by Thiago, and nobody really. The ball's allowed to travel even when they don't seem to be in any danger, and they all just leave it after it comes on off the head of Thiago. One or two Middlesbrough feet almost get a clearance in, but they don't for a second. Potential calamity at the back. What's on the cards, but no. Almost magic schools by Pulisic, and it's a shame. It's a shame for the neutral that the referee blows up, but there was a bit of a nudge there, and Anthony Knightsteel's pushes are averted. Chelsea really seem to have got an grip on on the game since they've scored, although I say that, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek nearly gets absolutely mugged off in very threatening territory indeed. Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Mendy, Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva, given a different angle for Chelsea, and it's almost as though they're inviting a challenge, and it comes. Johnny Howson, Matt Crooks, Flamin Balogun would have had a shot on goal there that would have been surely goal bound, but for unfortunate bounce of the ball. Paddy McNair has to go back to Dale Fry. Chorley. There has been moments of good intricate play from Middlesbrough, but you're more concerned about whether they can keep the door shut at the other end in a way to at least keep themselves relevant in the game. Excellent play from Johnny Howson, and I believe that Matt Crooks there has managed to invite a challenge on the right-hand side of the penalty area by Sarr. Crooks runs onto the ball and sort of checks back, and Sa catches up his momentum when he goes into Crooks. Sure, that was a yellow card, but this gives Middlesbrough a fantastic angle in which to toward the box. Tavernier's the taker for Middlesbrough. It's not the right angle for the shot, but he's gonna stand it up rather than whip it in because it is quite close. Oh, and it is more of a shot, and it was travelling in the direction of the goal, but the massive head of Lukaku is there to get the block in, and it's over the crossbar, and it's another corner to Middlesbrough. They've had like 4, and again, Tavernier stands over it to take. And again, there's a crowd scene in the Middlesbrough area. This time, it's a terrible cross, but Middlesbrough getting some good fortune because Azpilicueta makes a real pig's ear of his header. And it's a good spell for Middlesbrough because Middlesbrough have another free kick out wide, albeit not in as dangerous a territory. And Mason Mount is late with his challenge on Tavernier. This one will go long, and all the defenders for Middlesbrough, barring maybe one, seem to come up. Harrison played out to Izzy Jones. Izzy Jones stands the ball up, but it's I think Mason Mount stops across, and yet another corner for Middlesbrough. That Middlesbrough obviously are not going to enjoy pressure and possession like this all through, so they must score one on top. Short corner, Izzy Jones stands and thinks about what to do next. Breakdown in communication by Izzy Jones and Matt Crooks, and maybe a lack of composure from Middlesbrough standing out there because Chelsea are off the hook and Middlesbrough concede possession, goal kick to Chelsea, and now Rudiger. It's been a few minutes since Chelsea have put anything together. Mason Mount, lovely link-up play between and Mount, but wonderful challenge by the veteran Neil Taylor, and it's over to the other side with Izzy Jones. Plays a composed pass to Paddy McNair. Tavernier thinks about running it. Mount but can't and plays a save. Ball back to McNair. Jones just as loses his balance. Full of tricks is Izzy Jones, but looks like one of those who thinks that trickery is more important than a goal. Good spell for Middlesbrough though. Azpilicueta plays a long ball aimlessly out to play, and Chelsea need to wake up. Paddy McNair scores again down to walking pace before he plays a long ball that Kovacic heads away, but to no one in particular. And Izzy Jones tries to stand the ball up against Sa, but Sa stands his ground. And again, Middlesbrough kick the ball, throwing Izzy Jones. Can he now bounce it? He plays it in. Aaron Conley owns the ball up. Johnny Howson has an attempt that he leans back on, and it's played high wide and not very handsome into the Middlesbrough fans behind the goal. But warning signs are plenty for Chelsea. Home Middlesbrough at the moment, and the home fans are responding, apart from the one who's just done a massive yawn live on telly. Wake up, mate. It's a big game. Chelsea play around the press well on that occasion, and Kovacic brings it forward. Now it's out to Mount, who has a lot of space, and he widens it to the edge. And it's a brilliant goal. A wonderful strike by Ziyech. I don't know whether Joe Lumley is slightly sighted or wrong-footed a little bit in the Middlesbrough goal, and it looks like there's been allowed to be about 200 Middlesbrough fans, and Chelsea will be playing at Wembley. Whether they'll be going to Wembley, I don't think they will, but it's 2-0. Difficult to see a way back from Middlesbrough. An excellent move. It was Rudiger who beats the press out to Kovacic. So about 4 players are involved in the goal. Mount out to Ziyech. Excellent strike. I think Joe Lumley's vision is... No, he doesn't have impaired vision, actually. It's a good strike. And Joe Lumley maybe gets his angles and his positioning wrong. I don't think he's a good keeper, to be honest. I remember him having a nightmare in the previous rounds, or especially the previous round against United. He did look dodgy, and Chelsea back on the ball. And obviously a big game over if Chelsea score again before half time. Two assists from Mason Mount as well, which does me, I love to promote agendas that as many England players as possible are world class, because I think we've got a good team, and I hope that I can see England win a World Cup sooner rather than later. So well. Lukaku uses his body strength to back into his man, and Pulisic is now up against Anthony Dynasty, who can't seem to compete with a quick feet of his man, and Sarr comes into midfield now to Aspilicueta. Middlesbrough have understandably dropped off Mount. Lukaku moves back to goal, Mount to Kovacic, Aspilicueta, and almost a goal at the near post for Lukaku, and it, unfortunately for him, doesn't drop to him, and it's hitting, I think it's Dale Fry, who doesn't know very much about it, and Chelsea have a corner. pinball and could have been 3-0. Short corner, mountain to the edge. Kovacic plays the ball in to Rudiger, who wants to do a Hollywood volley and slightly miskicks it, but they turn him up and he can laugh about it. Centre halves glory moment there. Sort of a bicycle kick, sort of volley on turn. If he would have netted with it, then go with the season. But Aaron Conley in behind for a moment, but not quite. And Edouard Mendy gets his angles right, and the overhead cross by Dyche still doesn't catch him out, and goal kick for Chelsea. Almost 3-0 to Chelsea, just as undistracted. Terrible confusion between Dale Fry and Anthony Dyche. Pulisic with a through ball which is latched onto by Lukaku. Joe Lumley skates out of his goal in no man's land, and it's heralded. Oh my God, Middlesbrough well out of shape for the corner. 2-on-1 for the corner, terrible. Very disjointed from Middlesbrough, but then the other end, a ball over the top, which is shepherded away by Mendy. And there's a good challenge from the courageous Matt Crooks on Sa, but the ball is with Mendy again for another goal kick. Middlesbrough ragged, and if they're not careful, they'll find themselves 3 down before half time. None of this is going to be conducive to a cup upset. I'm afraid I'm not feeling it. Chelsea up for August. Ruben off his cheek on the ball, but bad touch. Takes the momentum away. No matter though for Chelsea because Ziyech can stand it up now against Neil Taylor. Neil Taylor can't stop the cross, but the cross is poor by Ziyech. It comes back to him after a hurried clearance. Kovacic to Lukaku with his back to goal. Scrambled away by Howson. Matt Crooks does excellently for Middlesbrough though to steer himself out of danger. Dyche steal to Izzy Jones who confuses himself, takes a tumble and he can't hold it up. There's a real sort of in it together mentality that you're sensing on the pitch from Chelsea, like they're determined not to affect the off-field trials and tribulations affects their on-pitch performance, playing with a freedom as if to say we can't affect what's going on off the pitch, but we can do our work on the pitch, and they won't deter. As I say that, Mendy in goal takes a hospital touch that he gets away with, and fortunately Mason Mount runs onto it and threatens to jink away from a few men, but there's a heavy touch, and now Middlesbrough have it in their half with Tavernier onto Howson. Howson makes a forward run, gives the ball to Balogun, but that frustrating rule where the officials don't put the flag up when someone appears to be 5 yards offside, strikes again. Howsam runs into the box. Balogun coming back from an offside position. Lazy play from the young kid. And play will restart with a Chelsea goal kick. Walking tempo football, Thiago Silva. It's played to hoofball by Loftus Cheek, controlled on the chest of Lukaku, and it's all the way back with Thiago Silva, Loftus Cheek, out to Rudiger. Rudiger's on ball. Anthony Dyche still plays it back to Joe Lumley, who will have to go some to prevent a corner, and just about does. And he plays a clearance more by London design to Aaron Conley, but Aaron Conley's way off is intercepted. Back with Chelsea. Very late challenge on Ziyech by the veteran Neil Taylor, showing the first yellow card of the game. Real low in the game. Anthony Dyche still with a throw for Chelsea. No one in particular. Ball back with Chelsea again. Long range ball by Thiago. Pulisic definitely got the beating of Dyche still on this right hand side. Or no, left hand side, should I say. It looks like all the issues are going to come down there. Middlesbrough back in possession and threatened to come forward with Matt Crutch, but the ball breaks loose. Ziyech toys with Neil Taylor. Middlesbrough can't even get a challenge in at the moment, unfortunately, let alone stay in a meaningful attack. Azpilicueta always plays about with pads. It never goes forward from Azpilicueta, not the first time anyway. 13 attempts in the game, 7 for Chelsea, 6 for Middlesbrough. But, and this looks like it could be a painful injury for Pulisic. He just slips. There's nobody around him. There's not a challenge. He just tries to receive the ball from Rudiger, turns, his ankle gives way, and he sort of does the splits. Now, these are the ones where mercifully he's back on his feet. But that's one of those ones where he could have opened up tendons, buggered up a ligament, or maybe he's just jarred his ankle, but he's having a drink and he's off the pitch and he doesn't look too sure. And he'll be back on in a second by the look of it. Itchy Jones runs away from start, Balogun. Balogun's supposed to be number 9, but drops very deep to let the play too much. Johnny Howson, Itchy Jones, Balogun, Anthony Dyche steal that looked offside, and it is offside. Just a 1 minute of added time. Lukaku to Pulisic seems alright now. One ball out from headed out by Rudiger, throw into Middlesbrough. Not enough time for him to do anything, and that's half time. That really is half time. 2-0, and Middlesbrough kept at arm's length and looking not to be further down than what they are, really. Good performance from Chelsea. Please, while I take a sip of coffee, like, subscribe, and share my channel if you enjoy it, and I will speak again in 5 or 10 minutes. excuse me while I just go and put a bit of light on the situation before I fade away into darkness. I hope that's better for you. It's certainly a lot brighter for me. And sorry if I don't just see myself today. I've been quite ill this week, and I was in two minds whether to do it because I still don't feel right. But when I say I'm going to do something, I do try and carry on. So if I'm not just as funny or as alert as usual, do forgive me. So much space for Chelsea to play in the defensive third of Middlesbrough. Great arrowing shot by Ziyech, but Joe Lumley was out of position.